I'm Mega Mike the Movie Man. Today I got a mega movie plan. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new movie Nightmare Alley. I'm going to go over my general thoughts of the movie, so spoiler free. I'm going to go over the good, the bad, and my recommendation on whether you should go out and see this one or not. So stick around to the end of the video for that recommendation. Now let's get started.
Step right up and behold one of the unexplained mysteries of the universe. Is he man or beast?
Now to get into the good of the movie first. So Nightmare Alley is a remake of a classic movie from a classic novel. And this movie is directed by Guillermo del Toro, who is an awesome filmmaker. You might have remembered him from winning an Academy Award for The Shape of Water. He just brings such great filmmaking techniques to this movie. But first, starting with the cast he was able to get together for this movie. There is so much star power on this cast list. You have Bradley Cooper, Willem Dafoe, Ron Perlman, Rooney Mara, Cate Blanchett, Toni Collette, and the list goes on and on. This is a cast full of star power, and it's great to see them on screen together. First, starting with Bradley Cooper's character. He just does such a good job bringing you into this movie, and you're just intrigued with his story from beginning to end. And just to see how he changes so much over the movie, that is what's really getting you invested into the movie. And then also, especially at the beginning, his connection with Rooney Mara's character and the romance they have blossom. I thought that was really intriguing as well. And then just all these other supporting characters. And these characters are working at a carnival, and they all have their different little acts. But what's interesting is these acts all have a gimmick element to it, and they're really just hustling the audience. And that sets up a fantastic story that I will get into next.
I am prepared to offer you folks one last chance to witness this supreme oddity.
Now getting into some more good of the movie. Now getting back into the story here. Wow, this story is very intriguing right away. I really enjoy the first half of this movie, where it's really focusing on the carnival setting. And what's great is you get to see a lot of awesome filmmaking techniques here. Just the overall production design and how the camera tracks different shots and just how it's filmed. Just how you are moving throughout this movie and how it places you in different settings at the carnival. It makes you feel like you're an actual participant at the carnival, witnessing all these different miraculous things. And that is just so awesome. Some of the standout scenes for me was the funhouse scene that was just really terrifying, and that felt like you were actually going through a funhouse. Then also the carousel scene, just the movement of the camera just felt like you were on the carousel. And there's just so many great scenes and how this movie is filmed. Now getting back to the intrigue of this story, how you're following Bradley Cooper's character Carlisle, who is basically learning the ropes of how to be a carny, and he's learning all these hustling techniques and all these con techniques from some other carnies at the carnival. And he's just learning, oh, okay, so this is mentalism. This is how to put on a show and pick up different cues from how people are dressed or how people move. And then we can con them and make these predictions for them, kind of like we're telling fortunes. So it's like a clairvoyant act. And that was really interesting how they explain how that mentalism act actually works, and it just kind of reveals it all to us as an audience. I thought that was a lot of fun and unique and interesting. So this movie is just a new interesting movie we haven't got in a while. I still don't know how Guillermo del Toro has trouble getting financing for these types of movies. He is a great director here. This is a masterpiece of a work. I just don't understand it.
Where did it come from? Begotten by the same lust and threat that got us all walking on this earth, but gone wrong somehow in maternal womb. Not fit.
Now to get into the bad of the movie. Now, this is a tale of two movies. Like I said, the first half I was gushing over this movie, thought it was phenomenal. But when we get into the second half of this movie, it does change quite a bit, and I'm not sure if I like where this story goes. Basically, what happens is Carlisle starts to become a superstar act of clairvoyancy with Rooney Mara's character. But then you have Kate Blanchett's character, a psychiatrist, show up, and then they start interacting together, and she ends up being very dangerous, and they're just kind of getting into each other's minds. And it just kind of slows down a little bit for me. It's not as intriguing as the Carnival story, especially with all the great supporting characters we had in the Carnival setting. This was just a least intriguing part of the movie. Just moving on to now this psychiatrist angle. It still has some interesting parts to it, but to me, it's just too long. This movie is way too long. You could have easily cut 20 to 30 minutes out of this movie and not miss any major story plot details at all. So it just gets too long and too drawn out, and you almost want to check the time. But there are some interesting parts. There'll be little bursts of, oh, wow, okay, now I just got shocked. I like that moment. That was very interesting. But like I said, it just slows down too much, needs to be cut a little bit. And then overall, just how the movie ends. I know a lot of people like the ending. To me, the ending wasn't for me. I get what they were saying with the movie, and it makes sense for the movie overall, but it just wasn't a satisfying ending. Uh, so how this movie starts off, great. How it ends, not so great. So definitely a tale of two movies here.
Come on in and find out. Is he man or beast?
Now to get into my recommendation of the movie, is this movie worth your time? Yes, I'm going to say if you're a true film fan, you have to see this movie just for all the filming techniques. Like I say, the direction here is perfection. It reminds me of how Spielberg directed the new West Side Story movie. Just all the camera angles, the lighting, the shadows, just how it takes you through this journey is a masterpiece of a work. However, I am still cautious about recommending this movie because I know it's not going to be a movie for everybody. It's not your big blockbuster Spider-Man movie, okay? It's a different kind of movie. It's a very unique type of movie. It's a psychological thriller of a movie. It's a con gone wrong type of movie. So I know that's going to be for a specific audience. So if you're really just going for that kind of story, you know, if you like those types of stories, then I'd recommend it. Like I said, if you're a film fan, just to see the production design and all the filming direction techniques, yes, go and see it. But if you're somebody that just wants a big blockbuster action explosive movie, this one's not going to be for you. So it just depends on your personality on whether you should go and actually see this movie. But if you've already seen Spider-Man this week, you have more time to kill over the holidays, I think this movie is worth some of your time. So that will do it for today's movie review of Nightmare Alley. Let me know if, based off my review, you're more interested in seeing this movie now. What do you think will really intrigue you about it? Or if you've already actually seen this movie, let me know in those comments. What was your favorite part of this movie? Were you so just mesmerized by the direction and filming techniques like I was? Definitely let me know and let's have those conversations down below. Also, if you're discovering my channel for the first time, make sure you subscribe so I can get you all that future movie review and movie ranking content. I don't want you to miss anything, especially if you can relate to movies being the best part of your day. You just enjoy talking about movies with friends and family. You are definitely in the right place. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of that future entertainment comment. Also, like the video. And this is Mega Mike, the movie man, out here reminding you to make every day a movie day.